Yesterday I did this bracelet that has these pink, blue, green, peach colored stones. They're called morganite, but they're all these different little light pastels, and I said they reminded me of these little teeny tiny crabs that would burrow into the sand on the beach on the eastern seaboard of the US when I was a little kid, and we would go down to the ocean, and I don't know why, but these little crabs each had like a little pastel different color, like blue, green, pink. And here these stones are very similar. They just go so nicely together. So anyway, the very next day, I received some gifts from one of my subscribers who is just so generous. And lo and behold, she gives these same exact colored stone beads, but in completely different shapes. And these are 10 millimeter faceted. These are probably also 10 millimeter, but they're square, also faceted. These are 6 millimeter. And I still have some of these little nuggets left from the original bracelet. And so I was just thinking, I want to make some earrings to go with this bracelet, and then maybe we'll do a necklace next. But for now, I just thought it'll look really cool to have all three shapes together. And there's some other shapes too. So this is a tutorial not about doing exactly what I'm doing. You don't have to get these colors and you don't have to get these shapes. But it's the idea that you find different shapes and different size stones and beads, and you just put them together, and it's just funky. You get like square, circle, diamond. I don't know, it just makes really fun earrings like that. So if you can find any different shapes or sizes that can kind of go together, they don't even have to be similar colors, it just has to be something that complements. And we're going to do 20 gauge silver. This is all 20 gauge, real easy. And let's just begin. Now if you want to be real crazy, you can do alternating colors also, so that earrings are not exactly the same pattern like this. That's being pretty brave. I was going to do this. For some reason, I just want to do a matching pair. But I think maybe next time I'll play around with totally random colors where they alternate. There's just something about this light blue, this translucent peach, and this very light greenish blue that, I don't know, the pattern I just feel like is very delicate, and it will go really nicely with silver. So let's do this. First, we're going to take about 7 inches of wire. It might be too much, but it's better to take too much than too little. And take our top stone, the 10 millimeter one. Bring it right to the middle of the stone. Give it a good crimp, right angles, like that. Go about halfway down your round nose. Get a nice firm loop, roll it right into place like that. Actually, that could be a little bigger. All right, and do the same on this side. See that? And then I roll it right into place, so it's nice and even. Now, you can do this actually while the round nose is still holding it like that. Come all the way around like this once to hold it in place. And do the same on this one. Come all the way around tight to hold it in place like that. Okay, now we're going to take each one and focus camera. We're going to come across diagonally all the way around to the next side, like this, and then we're going to wrap about 2 or 3 times till it feels good, and then we're going to cut it about halfway across the loop to make a little tab just for tucking, and then we're going to pinch it towards the middle of the bowl made by all those wraps, and then pinch it in deep into, you should actually be on this side so you can see what you're doing, but pinch it in there so it disappears, never bother anyone again. This one, we want to do the same thing. We want to come around like this and come around diagonally all the way around to the next loop and wrap it. Stack the wraps till you're happy. Cut it. Cut it just so you have a little tab like this. Bring it, that little tab towards the middle of that little bowl there. And then angle your pliers so you can shove it right in. Just pinch it right in. Boom. Pinch it right down in there. And now you have this. Now you can arrange these with your fingernails so they're more even. But now you should have this. Come on, camera, stop playing games. You should have this beautiful spiral. On this guy, what are we going to do with this guy now? For this one, we're going to take about 9 or 10, and yeah, about 10 inches. Bring it to the middle of the stone. You need to do 11 just to be on the safe side. Crimp it, crimp it. Take your round nose pliers, roll a loop, wrap it around. One time. Roll a loop, wrap it around one time. Now we're going to do something different. Make sure these loops are straight. And press it against the periphery of the stone like this. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to lay against this, you know, see how that's not really on the very edge. It's more in front, but it's basically taking the shape of the stone, and then wrap it once more around the loop. Do the same on this side. Once more around the loop, do it tight, hold everything in place. Now we're going to come across with these guys across the face of the stone like this, and we're going to link them right in the middle of the stone. And they're going to start chasing each other into a swirl. Move this side a little bit, 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 and move this side a little bit until you have this really pretty swirl. Now we're going to pull it back up to here and wrap just like the other one, and wrap as high up as we want to go, and then cut and tuck it. Voila. And last one, very simple. Do this one the same as the first one. And the only difference is it's much smaller stone. You don't need that much wire. Really 4 inches should be enough. Maybe 5 just to be safe. And if you find your stone is kind of moving, you just roll the loop tighter. Maybe move down further on the pliers to get a bigger loop. That'll get it tighter, but rolling it will also get it tighter. Sometimes you can back it up, slink down to a higher, thicker part of the pliers, and then roll it again. And then once you get this part where it's wrapped around, it'll usually tighten it up. And then go diagonal up to the top, boom, wrap it around. And same with this one. Whoops, let's cut that first. That's poking me, it's stabbing me, that little piece of wire. And this one goes this way. Ooh. So nice. It's so nice when you just wrap it around. After you do this a couple 100 times, it's just a relaxing thing. You could just sit here and wrap these little stones all day, make little links for bracelets, necklaces, earrings. You can make a whole set. So relaxing. You can do it while you watch TV. You can do this with 22 gauge also. 20 gauge sometimes is a little, especially the way they're making this silver now, it's a little hard on your fingers to do all these little patterns, but always check to see how those are not lined up right. I'm going to turn them. If it's hard on your fingers, you can get 2 pairs of pliers and just make sure they're straight and even. But there we go. Now you just get little tiny jump rings and connect them, and that's it. Like 4mm jump rings will work. And then put an earring hook at the top, and that's pretty much it. Now, why do we have a bottom loop here? Well, I think it looks good even by itself. People always say, why have a bottom loop if you're not going to hook something to it? I think it just looks good, but you can get a few more jump rings and hang them at the bottom, or you can get some kind of funky fancy chain and put a couple links to that at the bottom and see how you like how that looks, to just hang it down a little bit like that. This is a really funky pattern. Don't ask me where I got it. I found it in a few different colors a while ago. I don't know the name of it or anything, but it doesn't need to be this. It could just be, you could just have a whole bunch of little jump rings, or you could have bigger jump rings going to smaller jump rings, whatever you want to do.